6th. We're looking at the weekly Pele report, and this week we're going up the river to the Yorkin Native Peoples place. This is Panama on the left, Costa Rica on the right. We're in a little dugout boat here, and we are going up this river to the indigenous people's village. And I'll try to give a little astrology while we go. He's kind of clearing the way here. He's our man. We'll just do a little more later on. Well, I just can't stop taking these videos here. This is about an hour-long boat trip up to this little village where these people live, their old natural lifestyle. But to stay with the Pele report, it's a weekly astrology report. So the astrology for this week, we've been surrounded with water here in Costa Rica. It's been raining and more rain. Got the water happening with all these planets in Pisces, Saturn in Scorpio. But this week we have a Mercury-Venus conjunction coming up. And finally, I think it's on Tuesday, Mars leaves Pisces and goes into Aries. And shortly thereafter, then the Pisces party comes to a close, but until then, we have all of these conglomeration of planets, first time in 100 years or more in this sign of Pisces. I'm going to talk to you more about what all that means coming up shortly when I find a nice place to give the report. Aloha, this is a crazy Pele report for a crazy time on a crazy day. I started yesterday with the little blurb, March 6th. Today is March 7th. I didn't get to finish the report yesterday. I'm finishing it today. March 7th, the moon has gone into Aquarius, the sign of the crazy, and it's going to stay. The moon's going to stay in Aquarius until Saturday, when it goes into Pisces. And we've got Pisces, moon, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then Tuesday it goes into Aries. And I gave the rest before, but the important thing here is this Mars. I want to talk about today a couple of things. Number one, the Mercury-Venus conjunction that's going on, okay, this weekend, and Mars leaving Pisces. As of Monday, Mars leaves Pisces, goes into Aries. It's home. There's going to be a big shift of energy Monday and Tuesday. We have the new moon, like Monday, you know, and then within 12 hours, okay, this new moon is in Pisces, and within 12 hours then, Mars moves into Aries, and then the next day, the moon also moves into Aries on Tuesday. So by Tuesday, we'll have both the moon and Mars out of Pisces into Aries, which is a fire sign, and there's going to be a big shift, I foretell, in the energy patterns, systems that have been in place now for a little while, since the middle of February. And I've been calling it the Pisces party. It has not exactly been a party for everyone, and I want to explore some of the deeper indications, yes, of what that is all about, and I'm going to actually use a little bit of my own personal story around all of this. But I want to start out with the mantra this time, and the mantra for this weekend, for this time period, that is really living very strongly here, is that only with humble acquiescence can I maintain an inner silence that allows for spirit presence to reveal her radiant guidance. I got it messed up. I turned the words around. Got to do it again. Only with humble acquiescence can I maintain an inner silence that allows for spirit guidance to reveal her radiant presence. You get that? That is kind of what I'm really feeling this Pisces is about. I talked about now we're in the final phase of this moon. It's the last quarter going into the balsamic conjunction, then coming into a new moon in Pisces. 7 planets in Pisces. The last sign of the zodiac, ruled by Neptune, god of the oceans, associated with the 12th house. And in the old days, the 12th house was the house of self-undoing, of mental institutions, hospitals, addictions, drugs, all means and ways, martyrdom, victimization, secret enemies. I mean, this is where it all falls apart. It's the compost pile. It's where everything disintegrates. And that's like what has been going on for me, and that's why the Pele report is a day late. And that's why we're doing things a little different, because it's chaos. It's chaos now. The Pele report is a day late because I got sick. And I came down to Costa Rica. I came to the Envision Festival, which was a Piscean party of music and dance. And what do we have? We had all this stuff in Pisces. It rained. We're going into the dry season here. Well, it rained. Yeah? And, you know, I didn't get much sleep and did lots of dancing. And, you know, it was a very powerful, you know, beautiful experience. However, it like totally ran me down, and then a virus, a parasite, or something came into my system. And this is, you know, Pisces rules the immune system. Neptune rules the immune system. It's our boundaries or lack thereof. It's this merging and union of all that is into all that is. That's why it's music, art, dance, and poetry. That's why it's love and the heart. So we're in this time period now of merging, and yet that merging can create a lack of boundaries and not knowing where we are. It can create confusion. It can bring us down, and I got sick. And that can bring you down into surrender. And I talked about forgiveness and a little bit of surrendering here as part of this Pisces party. And so it's been these last few days. I felt like I weighed about 300 or 400 pounds. All of my joints ached. My shoulder is all messed up with tendonitis, and my world's falling apart. I didn't get so many sign-ups for the workshop here, and I had this intention of coming to Costa Rica and teaching astrology workshops, and bringing in my knowledge in astrology and doing this healing work, and being a shining light, and ... I come down here and I break, I fall, my body falls, and things don't turn out the way that they were expected, and the money's not here, and everything's more expensive, and everything's falling apart, and my body's falling apart, and then I get sick, and then it's just like aching, and then I start thinking about this festival that I'm doing over the summer, and how that could just, is that imagination or real? And you go into these altered states when you get really sick, when you get into a feverish state. So I went and I saw Dan, and I'm going to tell Dan's story today, because I think this is really part of, what I really want to get to with all of this. Dan is a craniosacral therapist, and since I was, sick and down and out, I go to see Dan, and Dan is a real man. He's really something else. And he awakens me to some new things. And one is that, every 5 or 6 seconds, there is about a teaspoon of spinal fluid that is created and released into our spinal cord. And, this is another rhythm. We have the beat of our heart is a rhythm, and we have our breath is another rhythm. Well, I just became aware now of a third rhythm. Yeah? This third rhythm is there's every 5 or 6 seconds, our spinal cord is getting another pulse, another dose of spinal fluid, which is intelligence, which is like spirit working through our nervous system. And so, while I'm there, Dan is just talking to me a little bit while he's working with me. Afterwards, he pulls out this monkey skull, and he says how the doctors say that, our skull doesn't move, but it really does. And there is fluid, and our skull is moving. And he's looking for a monkey skull, and he goes to his friend out in the jungle. I'm in the jungle here in southern Costa Rica. And we go out to the jungle. He went out to the jungle with his native friend. And he said, I need a monkey skull. And his friend said, I know. There was a sick monkey out in the jungle about 2 weeks ago. Let's go find it. Dan did not ask how he knew that the monkey was sick, or how in the hell they were ever going to find it. But he went out with him. And they're going through the jungle, and the native fellow sees a bird fly by, and he says, oh, there's a bird flying by. We're close. We're going to find it. That says we're going to find it. And they go a little farther, and the guy goes inside of a hollow log and pulls out a dead monkey. Yeah? And Dan is showing me the skull. And they brought it home, and they let the ants, eat it and clean it off. But how that person knew that that they were going to find the monkey skull, that it was inside of a hollow log, you could not see it. He did not discover it. He went to the log. Yeah. This just like opens up. And it opens up a whole new world of perception. We talk about clairvoyance, clairaudience, extrasensory perception. And we speak about the third eye opening and the crown chakra opening. Now we're talking about the heart opening with Pisces. We're talking about all of our senses opening to the magic and the mystery of life when our ego gets out of the way. And sometimes it takes sickness. It takes illness. It takes disease. It takes our lives falling apart, our bank accounts going south, our relationships ending, our worlds falling apart. Like my world was falling apart, and it brought me into a new mystery. So, our ego gets caught up in our mission and in our goals, and you know what? That's not what our life is about. Life has its own, our unconscious has its own destiny in mind for us. And the more we listen, the more we attune, the more we humble ourselves, the more we get out of our ego, the less we plan and the less that we attach to results and goals, and the more that we remain open to the flow of time, and the more we listen in the moment to the jungle, to the spirit, to the mystery, to the person in front of us, the more we are exposed to the magnificence, the brilliance, the radiance. It's almost like the insanity of life. It's so big. It's so grand. There is so much that we don't know. We get caught in this little thing. Oh, so I know some astrology, so that's gonna, I'm gonna latch onto that, and it's gonna take care of me, and da 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 da, and it's, but it's just like, how stupid. Spirit brought me down to Costa Rica to learn about the spinal fluid, and to learn about, the monkey skull, and to learn how there are people alive who know things, who feel things, who sense things that I want to learn how to know and feel and sense, and that it's real, and that the magic is real, and that there is an order beyond our order, and it's almost tangible. It's becoming more sensible, able to feel with our senses. So this is what Pisces is about, and this is about what the last quarter moon is about. It's about falling apart, and it's about surrendering, and it's about chaos, and it's about humility, and it's about letting go of what we thought we were about, what life was about, what this relationship was about, what our mission is about. Let it go. And when you are down, completely out, under nothing, and you become this blob of nothingness, then you get to experience the magic, the mystery of you getting then saved, salvation, redemption, raised into this new cycle, into this new age that we are all co-creating. Which brings me to the final point of the Pele report this week, and that is that I have a Tracy is helping me to coordinate this Kepacha Healing Festival, and we have 4 locations. We're going to travel to 4 different places. This is the plan, and host 4 different festivals of ceremony, ritual, yoga, astrology, and bring so much all together in order for us to really feel and sense spirit amongst us. No drugs, no alcohol, no medicine. We're going to actually do this, with our intention, our conscious intention, and yeah, I'm realizing now, after I had this vision last November and I started this whole ball rolling, that it costs money. And so, I receive a lot of emails, and I receive a lot of Facebook messages from people that have really gained a benefit from these Pele reports. They're kind of thank you emails and thank you messages. And I really appreciate that. And Tracy says, you know what? These Pele reports have helped a lot of people. And if everybody who listened to the Pele report, gave $5, which is like a latte or a cappuccino or something, I would have enough money to actually make this festival work. Yeah. So, if you do listen to this report and you have gained something out of it, I've been giving it away for 2 or 3 years now, and this is like the first time that I'm actually going to humble myself enough to ask. I'm just another human being like everybody else. I'm just, I'm down here sitting on the dirt, and I'm going to just ask for, a $5 donation if you can go to the website, KaipachaHealingFest.com. I'll put it with the YouTube. There's a little donate button, and we can actually make this festival happen. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. My life will come to an end. Wow. All right, I did it. So yeah, Only with humble acquiescence can I maintain an inner silence that allows for spirit guidance to reveal her radiant presence. Namaste, aloha, so much love.